This is the men's 100 metres backstroke S9 classification, the final on day 9 of competition. And lining up at the start, we have 2 Australians in lanes 7 and 8. And New Zealand in 1, another Australian in lane 2, Brendan Hall, the defending world champion. Being introduced first is Logan Powell. He was 7th in the 400 metres free. He also competes in para-athletics. He's 17. Jesse Reynolds from New Zealand. He's 19. He was 8th in the 100 metres butterfly, 8th at the World Championships in this event. Timothy Hodge will swim alongside his teammate Logan Powell in lane 7. He was 5th in the 200 metres IM, 6th at the World Championships in 2015. Only made his international debut in 2015, consequently at the age of 15. Brendan Hall, the 3rd Australian, swimming in the final. He is already a gold medalist. He's the 2015 world champion. He didn't make the final in this event in London, so he's a big improver. Qualification time of 1:05.56. Tamas Toth from Hungary already has a bronze in the 100 free, 6th in this event in London and the bronze medalist at the World Championships. Will be fancying his chances for a medal in this final. Liu Xiaobing from China. This is his only event in Rio and he'd like to complete it by standing on the podium. He's 26, based in Yunnan province, and was the bronze medalist in London in 2012. James Crisp from Great Britain. He's 33. He was the silver medalist in London and Athens, gold back in Sydney in 2000. He was injured for Beijing, has come back from a shoulder reconstruction. And Patrick Biskup is the equal quickest qualifier with Crisp. The pair of them swimming 1:05 flat. And Biskup, this is the swimming 4 events. He was 4th at the World Championships, swum an excellent heat earlier on day 9. And at just the age of 18, swimming with a great deal of maturity, it must be said. And he'll enjoy this finals experience. 3 Australians lining up. 1 swimmer from New Zealand, China, Poland, Great Britain and Hungary. So from lane 1, Reynolds, then Hall, Liu, Biskup, Crisp, Toth, Hodge and Powell. Well, Crisp again, as he does, pulls himself so high up on the wall and gets a terrific back arch, but it was Toth who stayed under the water for longer, had a beautiful streamline and is up and stroking with a small advantage. Liu in lane 3, also with a slower tempo stroke, but swimming very well at this stage. There's not a lot separating the leaders, and Hodge and Powell in 7 and 8 appear to be falling off the pace. It's all about the middle of the pool. It looks as though Liu may touch in first at the 50.
Well, watch out for Crisp. I mean, a decade and a half ago, he absolutely dominated. He was world champion 98 and 2002. He won in Sydney. Too many events in Athens, he bombed. Beijing, he went with a shoulder injury, couldn't compete, and ultimately finished 2nd in London. He's desperate for a gold medal here, and he's got a strong back end. But Liu is looking very strong as well, and Tamas Toth usually goes out so hard. Will he be able to hold on in the closing stages of this race? It's anybody's guess.
Toth is building through this final 15. He might just have the advantage over the Chinese athlete. There's going to be a touch in. It is a Toth. It is Toth. He's taken the gold medal just ahead of Liu from China. He's looking up at the clock. He wasn't sure. 104.3 was enough to get him the gold medal. He had a fantastic finish. Wasn't the quickest at the first 50, but he in fact touched in 5th, would you believe? So that back end 50 was a sensational swim. Liu Xiaobing from China, the silver medalist. The only event he came to Rio to swim, and he's going to take home a silver medal. And Brendan Hall from Australia, 104.67, so only 37 hundredths of a second between the gold and the bronze. A great result for the Australian. We see here it was a bit of a, well, haphazard start in the end. We had Toth, who was underwater for a long time, but he was well off the pace at the turn.
Well, indeed, it looked like Chris might have been looking good, and Liu Xiaobing was setting himself up very nicely. Hall is strong at the end. Toth usually has more of a lead and can come back at the end, but sometimes does tend to fade in the races, especially after a fairly punishing schedule at Rio 2060. Feared he might, but somehow he managed to swim it in. He showed a great intensity, maintained it throughout. He's so good off the starting blocks as well, is Tomasz Toth. And a deserved gold. Great for Hall as well.
Confirmation of the final standings there. So Toth will take the gold, Xiaobing the silver.